We begin in Chicago, where a rally for Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump was called off due to a large protest in and around the stadium where he was scheduled to speak. 2 police officers were injured and 5 people were arrested after violent clashes. The Trump campaign says the rally was postponed due to security concerns, but Chicago police say they had no role in the decision. Asha Tanner has the story.
Chicago. For years, this multiracial city has been run by Democrats. On Friday, hundreds of anti-Trump protesters turned out in force ahead of the appearance of Donald Trump. And the Republican pulled out over fears of security. His no-show led to violent scuffles between his supporters and protesters.
Donald Trump got the message beforehand. He paid a lot of money to be here. So it was a success. He got the message. He didn't show up.
I was trying to get out this way. Someone accused something about racism. I didn't really understand what he was trying to say. I was going to have a dialogue with him. I didn't really think that was going to happen. It didn't happen. They took the poster, then they took the hat.
This is the first rally Trump has cancelled. His campaign has stirred up racial divides. It prompted this local activist to wrestle his way onto the stage to call for racial unity.
America is already great without the hate. And so I came to the rally because I'm a very proud Chicagoan. It takes a lot of pride in my city. And I feel basically, if anything that I feel that should not be in the airways of Chicago or on Chicago soil, as an activist, I'll respond to it.
Chicago's been fraught with tension over race and policing for months, following the fatal shooting of a black teenager by a white police officer. The police department on Friday said the Trump campaign did not consult them to postpone the rally. Earlier in the day, protesters also fought with police in St. Louis. Just a day after, a Trump supporter was charged with assault. Trump's political opponents have been quick to condemn the disruptions.
The responsibility for that lies with protesters who took violence into their own hands. But in any campaign, responsibility starts at the top.
This was meant to be a political rally. Instead, it resembled a barroom brawl. With further campaign rallies still to come and with no signs of the rhetoric being toned down, we could see more of these unprecedented scenes, particularly at events organised by the abrasive, some say racist, Donald Trump. Asha Tanner, TRT World.
Well, Jedediah Brown is a Chicago activist who was led off stage after he took to Trump's podium on Friday. We heard from him a few moments ago. Here's more on what he had to say about being escorted by police after taking the podium.
When I got there, I was met with a lot of racist and a lot of racism and a lot of unbecoming remarks, not just to me and the crowd I was with, but to other people, Muslims, Hispanics, and it was the very thing that was portrayed in the media. And at that point, I was determined to shut it down, and I put my sights on the stage. You know, they have the whole notion, make America great. They were telling everybody to go back to other countries, go back to Africa, go back to Syria. You know, very hateful things that say they didn't belong here in America. We heard things like people saying, well, I want to punch this person. A group of Muslims kneeled down and prayed. And while they were yet praying, a lot of people were saying, take that back to your country. We don't want you here. Trump's going to build a wall. Your prayer's not going to help you. All kinds of like just intimidating things. And they were doing it very boisterous. They were in people's face. It was very, very disheartening. They said, if you can make it in Chicago, you can make it anywhere. And this was a defining moment for the Trump campaign. That if he could have successfully had one of his hate campaign rallies here, then he would have been an unstoppable force. Chicago is a tough city made up of tough people. And, you know, even with all of the negative stereotypes that we have here, being a segregated city, being a city with a lot of violence, you have a lot of people here that have a warrior spirit, that will stand for justice. We're used to activism. We're used to fighting. We're used to having to put our forces together to stand up for what we believe in, because unfortunately government hasn't been kind to us here. Chicago did amazing and filled that place to let Trump know that his rhetoric is not acceptable in the city of Chicago. And because of that, Trump didn't face us, the guy that's supposed to be so tough, the guy that's supposed to say what he really feels. He's a bully. And when he was met with somebody, he met something of his own size, he didn't show up. And that's what I love about Chicago.